I joined politics because I decided that it wasn't just enough to criticize government without actually trying to play a role.
It is a ripe moment in Africa for young people to stand up and do those things which count, those things which matter.
Why I decided to join this, because me personally, I saw how systematically young people have been isolated.
Yes, I would definitely love to run for office. I believe that I have the leadership requisite skills to be able to champion the cause of young people. I'm a young person. I have the energy, I have the skill, I have the expertise, and I believe that I can definitely engage with peers at my level to be able to interrogate all the issues that are concerned within our government.
Of course, I began with civil society. I was part of a couple of youth organizations, NGOs, trying to create change in one way or the other. But one thing that struck me was that there's a limit to what I can do as an individual or through an NGO. And having the power of the Constitution, so to speak, behind me would enable me to do a lot more for my people, irrespective of how and where I choose to serve. The decisions that our leaders make will affect our futures, whether or not we like it. So we cannot continue to say that because we don't like this party or we don't like this elder or because you think politics is this or politics is that. You cannot continue to leave the responsibility of making decisions that affect your future solely to people who will not be part of that future. They're too old, they're out of this generation. The decisions they make today are going to affect us for 20, 30, 40, 60 years to come. They're going to affect our children. So even if you don't care much about yourself, think about the children you're going to have and the kind of world you want to bring them into. It is very, very important to join politics because that's how you get to influence things. If you have an issue with something around you, maybe there's a societal problem that you would like to solve, occupying elective office or even serving in some capacity in government gives you a kind of power that just talking about it or trying to act in an individual capacity does not.
The best example for youth participation has been around the last election that we had, where young people divide the narrative that they were apathetic and not interested in politics. They came out in big numbers to vote and started a thing that they call protecting the vote, where they'd stay in the vote and voting centers all night until the votes were counted. And more aggressively, young people have politicized Twitter as a tool and Facebook, where they're using social media to question, to demand accountability and to demand more transparency from government. And it's been very successful in Uganda in getting government to respond directly to issues that young people have.
What we do is, by focusing on young people between the ages of 18 and 35, we deepen democracy by strengthening the rules that are already in place in our Constitution, by getting more people knowledgeable about what is the Constitution, what does it mean to have political rights, what does it mean to vote, why is it important. So that's one of our first basis points. And at that point, we then go around and say, well, what do people know about voting? Do they know who their political parties are? Do they know what the political parties are advocating for? So one of the big things our organization does is that in a non-partisan manner, we give as many people information about political parties. We're one of the few organizations in the country that will have every single political party's manifesto online in a non-partisan manner, focusing on youth-centered issues on each manifesto so that people can freely look around these issues. So how we mobilize people is actually quite interesting. We ask the simple question to ourselves is, we don't see young people as apathetic, right? That's our basis point. We don't look at young people and say, young people don't know how to be politically active. Young people don't care about, the politics of the country. Young people really do care, but you're not interesting them in the right way.